Who knows if the shit is epic to dog.
It's just different.
It's called Gulag. Seems appropriate. All the bullshit logarithms that they've been poking me with. You could go by the Greek alphabet. Oh my god, Alpha and Omega. Oh my god. Which micron? Can't fit through the motherfucking K and 95, man. Stress polluter. It's for me. It's for you. It's for now for later. It's for your kids. It's for your grandma. Sedator. Gonna put it in a death claw. Anyway, it's like a death claw. Somebody might wanna misrepresent, characterize your own lies and call them theirs. I'm fine with everything in between time, but I can't believe people won't even seem to make it, right? Wishes come true. No many, how many times I rubbed a fucking genie bottle in some oil. I guess I annoyed myself in the toilet. I take it upon my own wealth. Not working, it's not working. Thin line, paper thin. In fact, not even worth splitting hairs. Why go there? Care Bear stare, Rudy Gobert, Kyrie Irving, geometric things. I'm looking for a set of no strings, ain't no puppets around here. But somehow, some way, some kind of what the fuck timing is it? This is fresh, showing you how I live by the digit. Yeah. Not bad, epic. JID type B. Save that one. Yeah. We'll save that one. Yeah. Yeah. Real quick, real quick.
A lack of social connectedness, a lack of social bond, they will probably also experience a lack of meaning making. And then the third condition is that there have to be a lot of people who...
Let's get these conditions.
And these two are actually
mass
associated
formation.
With each other. People are human emergers in a society.
Define what mass formation is. Could you just...
And how it provoked the effects that it had in our society.
Brilliant. Can I ask you to very briefly define what mass formation is? Could you can you summarize?
Yes, mass formation is a specific phenomenon which emerges in a society if a few conditions are met. So there are at least 4 conditions that have to be fulfilled before a large-scale phenomenon of mass formation can emerge. The first and most important condition is that there should be a lack of people experiencing a lack of social bond. A lack of social connectedness. The second condition is that there have to be a lot of people who experience a lack of meaning making. And these two...
Oops. My bad. And subscribe. So we're learning about mass formation. You dig?
Or social beings, and if they people who experience a lack of meaning making. And these two are actually associated to each other. People are human. Humans are social beings, and if they experience a lack of social connectedness, a lack of social bond, they will probably also experience a lack of meaning making. And then the third condition is that there have to be a lot of people who experience a lot of free-floating anxiety. This means anxiety that is not connected to a mental representation. For instance, if you see a lion and you're scared, then you know what you're scared of. Your anxiety in that case is connected to a mental representation. But if it is not connected to a mental representation, you end up in an extremely aversive, negative emotional state in which you deal with a kind of anxiety that you cannot control. So, first condition, lack of social bond. Second condition, lack of meaning making or sense making in life. The third condition, a lot of free-floating anxiety and psychological discontent. And then the fourth condition, a lack of free-floating frustration and aggression. A kind of aggression that is that you feel inside of yourselves, but that you cannot direct or aim at a certain object or cause. So, and then
Makes sense.
when these conditions are met, something really typical can happen in a society. When under these conditions, narrative is distributed through the mass media, indicating an object of anxiety, and at the same time providing a strategy to deal with this object of anxiety, then there might be a huge willingness in the population to go along, to
Interesting.
participate in the strategy. And why? Because all this free-floating anxiety, which is so hard to control, connects to this object of anxiety, and in this way, that's the first advantage. All this free-floating anxiety is now connected to a mental representation, and then just by participating in the strategy, you can mentally control the object of anxiety. For instance, if a
Get back to normal.
narrative is distributed which says that there is a very dangerous virus and that we should go into lockdown, if these four conditions are met, then there might be an extremely extraordinary willingness to participate in the strategy and the lockdowns, even when the narrative in itself is absolutely absurd. So, and what happens is actually something very important. When people start to participate all together in the strategy to deal with the object of anxiety, a new kind of social bond and a new kind of meaning making emerges, which means that there is like a new kind of solidarity that emerges. And this makes that people switch from a highly aversive, negative mental state of social isolation, interpersonal isolation, to the exact opposite, to the extremely high level of connectedness that exists in a crowd or a mass. So, and then people start a heroic battle with the object of anxiety, which leads to a kind of mental intoxication of connectedness, which is the real reason why people continue to buy into the narrative, even if it's utterly absurd or blatantly wrong. It's a kind of a ritual. It's a kind of a ritual. It has exactly the same function as a ritual. A ritual is a kind of behavior that people participate in to show that they belong to a...
You catch all that? Sneezing fit. Mass formation. It's a term come to my orbit recently. Mass hypnosis, mass psychosis. I guess the psychology term is mass, M-A-S-S, formation. Follow that? 4 conditions needed for that. Isolation, lack of social connectivity, right? People locked down. Let me just read it so I don't mess it up. Lack of socialization is number 1. Lack of meaning. So like my life doesn't have a meaning. Am I an essential worker or not, right? 3, free-floating anxiety. 4, free-floating aggression. So you got anxiety and aggression, frustration, depression, with no real place to attribute it to. Mass formation. Did you learn something new? I did. It's really hard to tell what's going on right now. Who is thinking, who is not thinking, who is reacting, who is protesting, who is counter, who is for the narrative, who is questioning the narrative, who believes their doctor, who believes their science, right? It's understandably confusing. I did a little tally, 2,600 hours of research I've done in the last 2 years. 20 months? I guess it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert. I'm trying to give very conservative numbers here because my wife sees this and be like, what? You've been spending 24.3 hours a week researching this shit? I'm not very good at time management. Anyway, so the population is what, 330-some million, right? all these mandates and all these vaccines and all these jabby jabs. They said what, 200 million have been jabbed, right? So 2/3, and they ain't even gotten started on the kids and the babies yet. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. Where my parents at? Where my parents at? Don't fuck with my kids. Oh, I heard about. Oh my gosh, I have a 5-year-old son, and now we know somebody. Our family knows somebody with a 5-year-old. Parents decided to go ahead and jab him up. For what? For what? For what? So, 100% of the population, right? First of all, I don't even know if I believe those numbers. Why are they pushing so hard? Why are there Comirnaty commercials? Why the 3rd and the 4th booster? Why all the hubbub for Omicron? Why? Why? So you got 100% of the population, right? Approximately 30%. I'm just repeating what I learned, okay? From an expert. Psychology expert. 30% buy the narrative, hook, line, and sinker. They're for it. Yes, do it. We believe what we're seeing on the news. We believe what we're seeing on our devices. We'll mask, we'll jab, we'll boost. Boom, let's go. 30%. Instant adoption, right? I don't even think you need that many. I think you could do it with 20, especially if they're the elites, if you will. Influencers, if you will. And influencers are being paid to promote the narrative. You know that, right? Yeah. Juvenile vaxxed that thing up. He didn't do that for free. You'd be surprised the level of TikToker or Instagrammer or YouTube, the low level that they will approach and offer money to promote the narrative. It's very interesting. Very effective. 30%. Y'all the problem. Y'all the chronic compliers. Okay? 40% of the population in the middle, they don't really care. They're just going along, kind of apathetic, not really engaged. They're just like, whatever, we'll go along with the 30%. We'll do our part, whatever, we don't care. And then you got the bottom 30%. Yeah, boy. Vocally opposed. Fuck that. Nope, we're not doing it. I seem to be immune to the mass formation. I don't want to form nothing with none of y'all people. Nope. I'm happy to be removed, be an observer. More than happy. And I'm not taking no mess from the other 30%. Nope, I'll listen. Yeah. And the 40%, y'all better listen. Okay? If you got kids, you got grandkids, you got nieces and nephews, you want to have kids, you are a kid, I'm talking to you. You're old, the same for you. I heard a statistic that we've got, is it over age 70, over age 75? There's about a 98% vaccine rate amongst that vulnerable population. And you know, the next one below is like strong 80s or something. Based on the first numbers we got regarding herd immunity, should be good. Seems like the older the person is, the worse they do with the illness. The younger the person is, the worse they do potentially with the jab. That trend is obvious, right? So what are we doing? What are we doing? Mass formation, okay? 15 days, flatten the curve. State of emergency was declared March 13th, 2020. That gives the federal government way more power than they should have, deserve, in this specific situation, right? Problem is it keeps being renewed. It was just renewed. So the state of emergency, this national state of emergency for this deadly pandemic was renewed, I believe, on October 15th and put into place October 18th, I believe. Double check those dates. So the state of emergency rages on, and we can be on the verge of martial law, you know, take away liberties, whatever, enforce these lockdowns, these mandates, whatever they think they can do with this power. It has been extended to them quietly, or they keep renewing it, or whatever, right? I know I live in the great fucking state of California, and I know they declare state of emergencies for droughts, whatever, fires, not dismissive, and that does something. That, opens up funds and allows for different powers, whatever. Y'all heard that and I knew this was coming, right? Los Angeles School District, there's a report of a student being vaccinated without their consent, without their parents' consent. They bribed him with pizza, who knows? But my understanding is there is something in the documentation wherein if your child attends school, you are, by virtue of sending them to school, giving consent for them to receive the jab. That is my understanding. That is the position of the World Health Organization, for sure. So that would be the world. And then I believe, so far, the CDC and the WHO, when it comes to policies that negatively affect us, in my not so humble opinion, they seem to be in lockstep. So, interesting. Most troubling thing, I think, so many troubling things in the last 72 hours, that New York, ages 5 and up, must be vaxxed just to go in public. That's a very short step to, if you're unvaxxed, you're under quarantine. Is it Austria doing that? Is it Germany? Do you get it yet? Like Nadia would say, do you see it yet? Duh. Where's young Pharaoh at? Need you, bro. Mitchell Gerber says what's up. I connected with him. We're gonna talk about you already know, Fallen Gong. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, man. I'm very excited. I'm re-energized and tapped in. I'm trying to help my friend get his religious exemption because he doesn't want the jab. He doesn't want to get jabbed up. Just got an email. What's today? The 9th? Is it the 7th of December? Just got an email. By the 17th, that's 10 days, must be fully vaccinated to keep your job. That's not possible. That's physically not possible. Don't you need 2 jabs and wait a month or 6 weeks? What the fuck? That's crazy. And he's really thinking about doing it. No, baby. Gotta make a stand. Gotta not comply. I see people walking around with masks and what have you. Be careful, people. Do your research. Don't want to rush back to normal so fast that you rush into the wrong normal. You dig? Don't fall for the okie doke. Do you have a passport? I do. Is yours expired or is it active? Is it worth anything? Can you do anything with it? Can you get in or out of your own country with your passport? Why are they calling these little bingo cards with 4 spaces in them for jabs? Why are they calling that a passport? Vaccine passport with 4. That's why I call it a bingo card, because they want you to fill it up. First one to fill it up wins. So the next passport I get is going to be a vaccine passport? I don't like that. Time to take stock. Look it up. Look up the mass formation. Let it sit in. I know people don't like to hear mass hypnosis, People don't like to hear that. People don't like to think about maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm hypnotized. I'm not seeing things clearly. That's a very hard pill to swallow. I get it. So just look at the term mass formation. Listen. Think. Talk to people. Stop censoring yourself. Stop it. I love my parents. I love my people. I love my children. We are at war. Don't be mistaken. We are at war. Look at the last. What's that? What happened here? Look at the last 2 years. Okay. We're in December 2021. So look at December
A
2019.
group, to create
Come
a
on
group.
now. Come on now. Just getting rumblings. Something's going on in Wuhan, right? January, start talking about it. Oh, we got a virus, novel coronavirus, right? That had been patented already by the CDC. They got a lot of patents, y'all. SARS-CoV-2, they got the patent. The treatment, they got the patent. The testing, they got the patent for all that. I'm paraphrasing, I'm oversimplifying, but they have intellectual property that they shouldn't have. Leave it at that. So the last 2 years, right? What a birthday present to me, right? All right, 15 days flatten the curve, curfew, quarantine, bombs bursting in the air, George Floyd riots. Remember that? It's a good time, right? Remember that? So the 15 days turn into 15 weeks, turn into 15 months. Now we're at 2 years. And what's going on? What's going on? Remember the numbers that they gave us to say how bad this was going to be? 200 million people, what'd they say? 20 million, 2 million, 200,000. What? How many people died of the flu or died of COVID? How many? So the lockdown in March 2020 to May, so just 2 months. March, April, May, 3 months. How many people died during that time, right? When it was so crazy, like your loved one's in the hospital, but you can't visit them because they have COVID. And so they die on a ventilator and you can get to say goodbye on an iPad. That was going on for a few months, right? Mind you, during this time, the CDC said, we don't know what this is. You motherfuckers on the bed. We don't know what this is. Natural origin monkey butt, bat poop. Bat blood, we don't know. Coronavirus, what? That short period of time, all those crazy predictions of how many millions of people, hundreds of millions, whatever, right? That's what they used. And mind you, 85% of those deaths, people dying on ventilators, was preventable. The CDC said supportive care only. Water, like fluids, IV fluids, and Tylenol, fever reducer. That's it. They said, no, you can't give steroids. No, you can't do, give oxygen. All this shit you couldn't do. And if you can't give them ivermectin, can't give them hydroxychloroquine, whatever. Can't do that. Fine, we'll let you use remdesivir. Doesn't work. So 85% of those deaths were preventable. But still, we use those figures to justify the actions since. Get it, right? You see that, right? So as soon as we realized, oh, it doesn't really transmit outdoors in the summertime, right? All those BLM riots, protests, and they were like, can't have gatherings of 10 or more, can't go to church. But you can have 100 people outside protesting, right? There was not a spike in cases. There was not. I thought there would be. There was not. There were spikes in the cold weather, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, there was spikes. Was there, and then that one Lollapalooza or whatever. I don't know. Just pay attention. Just pay attention. So the last 2 years, national state of emergency for this deadly pandemic, and now it's endemic. They say it's endemic. We can't get rid of it. We can't get herd immunity. The vaccines don't work that well. You got to keep getting boosters. It's experimental. We know what we're doing. There can't be any long-term. What? You gotta stop it. You gotta stop right now. Gotta stop. And don't vaccinate your children, please, please, please. Well, talk to a doctor that cares. Talk to a doctor that gives a fuck about you. I have some recommendations. Somebody who's not scared to lose their job or their license, to tell you the truth. Okay, and I know plenty of pro-vaccine doctors that will give you, straight information, right? Dear friend of mine, he's been vaccinated. He wants his booster. He works in healthcare. His children that have had COVID and recovered, he's not willing to give them a vaccine. I said, why? You get all of the risks, potential risks, which he doesn't think are that high, or could be permanent, which I disagree with. You can't, you expose yourself to these risks and there's no benefit. Specifically right now, Omicron. Omicron! It doesn't help you. They designed this vaccine for the wild type or the alpha or whatever. They didn't make a new one for Delta. Now they want to make a new one for Omicron. But in the meantime, get the regular one that doesn't work and give it to your kids. What? Can I sign up for the flu shot? Like, can I get a vintage flu shot from 2003 when the first SARS-CoV-1 came out? Can I do that? What happened to, at your service? Can I get some concierge service for my vaccine needs? Is the booster a half a dose? Is the kid's dose a third of a dose? What's going on? What are you people doing? Anyway, parents, get it together. Get it together. Talk to each other. Don't go get your kids vaccinated for this when you don't know what it is. Stop it. Stop being stupid. Please, stop being stupid. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm a person that is done. I'm a journalist. I'm a thinker. I am not hypnotized. I survived COVID. I refused the jab. I refused the jab for my children. After 10 years, after 75 years of safety data, then I will consider it, okay? And that is that. No arguments, please. But please, questions, comments, talk to me. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. Are you a bad parent? Shout out to Success Airlines on Clubhouse. Are you a bad parent if you get your kids vaccinated? Or are you just a straight up fucking moron? What do you think? I gotta deal with an urgent matter, so I gotta let y'all go. A couple bars real quick. Just real fast. None too crazy. Just a little Lethal Needle, okay? Shout out to you, Lethal Needle. Rooftops. Just came out 3 hours ago. Let's go back to the Matrix, shall we? So back to the Upside Down? It was cozy, right? Yeah. Seems like y'all wanna live the upside down life. Well, I'ma turn it over. I'm not that nice, but I am that cold. Freestyle fresh is that bold. Call me JDF if you don't know me that well. Look, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I know what I'm doing with mine, to be precise. My children, I want them to be organic, carnivorous beings, ability to reproduce. The fuck else we gon' do but put our genetic material on the loose? Confucius wasn't confused. I've been like Bruce Lee trying to fill the bottle of water up with my own clairvoyant thought process. Look through it and it's not as nice as this. I'm never meant to be a nice guy, I just wanna bring you the truth, devoid of all the lies. Don't be mass formation, mass hypnotized, just be your own creation. If you're scared, go to church and pray. Go within and see what your Holy Spirit has to say. Or you can get the jab and the jab and the jab and the jab and the jab. You can wear a hijab, you can wear a mask all day. You can mask up your kids. But I would suggest another way. The winter ain't even here yet. You ready for them fucking weird polio ass symptoms of aiming at your kids? Call it salmonella, gastroenteritis or some shit. You can't smell, you got the virus, you don't even know what happened to the fucking super gold. And why did they name 2 different strains Omicron? Oh my god. And they rolled it out 6 months early? What the fuck? Shout out to you. I love you, but you worry me. It's Freestyle Fresh. I'll talk to you tomorrow. It's love. Give your mind, give your body, give your spirit, give your family, give your community the things they need to fight the disease. Love.